Real Genetic Demon, and this is What's on the Tape, Season 5, Volume 6. Now, this lot of lovely tapes was sent to me by my friend Andre Russell. Now, he saw these and he loved the brightness of the colours of the tapes. He thought they were fantastic, these fluorescent ones. And I have to agree, they look awesome. And actually, it's not rewound. I'll have to rewind that one. They look awesome. And he sent me loads of them, and they look cool. And they've got all this stuff written on the front, so he's actually typed these with a typewriter. So we've got Rocky Horror Picture Show, Gauntlet, Movie, Indiana Jones, this one's got Cybernoid and Synapse and Firefly and Combat School. In fact, they've got loads on them. They're huge, these tapes. These are C90s, I think, if I just pull this one out here. I like the fact that somebody's putting loads of games as well. Just there's loads of games, tape 5. And they've got loads and loads of things. And look at that brightness of that tape. Wow. Welcome to the 80s. That's definitely 80s colours. Street Sounds. It's called Street Sounds. I also quite like the fact that it was part of somebody's successful by caring more. Dear homeowners, we're opening our showrooms and looking for windows and doors, patio doors, you see. So not only that, but they've recycled some of the paperwork from a company called Solar. There's some more stuff in some of the other ones. We'll have a look at it some other week. But he sent me this, and I was like delighted, because it's like they were surprised for a start off. They came in the post, and I was like, what's he sent me? What has he got me? But he sent me these ones, and they've got Blind Panic on there. And we got Trapdoor, we got BMX, and we got ATV, and we've got Things, and we got Deviants and all kinds of stuff. But I'm going to do this one because it's a shorter one, and then we're going to go for an epic another week. But we're going to go with this one here, which is the one with the Rocky Horror Picture Show on it, Gauntlet, Movie, and Indiana Jones. Now, this is actually tape 2, and I am quite surprised, because there's loads of games. Quite surprised it hasn't actually got anything written for side 2, so I suspect there's more on here. So this is a really big one. So we've got at least 4 to look at, which is cool. I have a backup, which we'll do anyway, which is this one here, which has Samurai on it, and it also has Scramble Spirits, the demo. Now, I didn't even know Scramble Spirits actually came out as a demo. It's known as one of the best Master System shoot-'em-ups, and I didn't know it was on the Spectrum, so I'm quite looking forward to that. Assuming it's the same game, it might be something completely different. But we definitely have Samurai from CRL, and then Grand Slam at the bottom, Denmark. It says complete game. Denmark and CRL can't have been the same people, were they? Oh, maybe they were. Anyway, without further ado, we'll get this one, which has got its lovely, lovely tape. I don't know which side it is, B. Let's go to side 1. Yeah, we'll rewind that. Let's C90. We'll get this C90 into the tape drive, and we'll go from there. Right. Tapes in the drive, and we're ready to go. You can tell it was the 80s, by the way. It's so fluorescent. Anyway, let's get down to here, and we'll do the usual. So, basic 48K. That should do it for Rocky Horror Show. Load dit, or load speech mark, and let's press the play button. Yeah, Rocky Horror. You know something? I can't believe that this tape only has these 3 games, or 4 games on it, should I say? Rocky Horror, Gauntlet, Movie, and Indiana Jones. It just feels like there should be many, many more. I have queued up, by the way, straight away, just in case it does what it's just doing there. I have queued up the Rocky Horror Show on the old PlayZX, just in case. And I'll put a picture on the screen of the inlay, because the inlay is quite interesting in the sense of that it says paid handsomely in cash, because remember before we saw it. Hang on, it's a lie. It says Arch for 128K. It's a lie. It says tape 3 on it. Oh no, it doesn't. It says tape 2 on it. Where's the other tapes? Hang on a second. Let's see whether or not whether tape 2 and tape 3 have been mixed up. 1 second. I'll be back in a second. I'll be right there. Hang on. Stand still. You stay there. I'm having a look. Tape 2. I've got tape. I've actually got one that says tape 2, and it doesn't say that on there. Oh, this is even better. We got mysteries. We have mysteries. It says tape 2, ZX Spectrum games. Hang on, 128K games. Oh, Andre, thank you very much. One tape here is just completely devoted to 128K games. That's brilliant. I don't even think that the covers are actually representative entirely of the games at all. Tape 5 is in Tape 5's thing, and Tape 4 is in Tape 4's, and that says all 128k games. Oh, brilliant. Right, so let's just start again. So I have got Rocky Horror queued up, which is not what's on here. It says Tape... Oh, it does say Tape 3, but on this side here, side A, which I thought it would be side A, rather than whatever else, we've got this appearing. So, maybe this is the Raiders of the Lost Ark or something. I don't know. Well, was it the Raiders? It wasn't that. It was Temple of Doom, wasn't it? The one for Indiana Jones. Oh, we've got a mystery on our hands. This could be a long video, by the way. I've got coffee. I hope you've got coffee as well. I drink so much coffee, I should be sponsored by one, shouldn't I? I should. I'll rather like my Dow egg, but if they ever want to advertising on whatever else it is, I drink. That's what I drink. It's my fave. I used to drink Nescafe years ago, but I'm not so keen on it now. I prefer the smoother taste of the Dow egg. But look, you see that was full on sponsorship there, wasn't it? This is a real mystery, though. Andre, thank you very much. It's exciting. I don't even know what this is. We've even got a little loader thing going on the bottom corner there, where they're taking the screen edges away. We've got that. Wow. And the thing is, I hope I did put that on the screen. I will put it on the screen about the thing. It says paid handsomely in cash. This is what it says in the inlay. Retirements. To find out, phone me on whatever the coupon is. The first 100 applicants at this stage of the. It's interesting. Oh, it's Rocky Horror. So why ARH 128k? Ooh, I don't know. This is good. ARH. What's ARH then? I'm trying to work out what that's got to do with Rocky Horror Show. So, if this is the full 128k version, what do we get bonus-wise? Tended to be on the spectrum. It wasn't normally extra graphics. Sometimes it would load the entire set of levels in if the game had them. It sometimes meant that there was music throughout the entire game. Either way, we'll find out when it loads. So we've got a long load on this one, to be honest with you. That was quite cool. It's all gone quiet. I'm loving the little box in there. I never remembered that about the Rocky Horror Show. Oh, coffee. That was good. Coffee's good. Right, anyway. Yeah, I don't remember that about the Rocky Horror Show. I do remember the movie. It starred Tim Curry. Tim Curry was the... was he the creature? Or was he the professor? Basically, it's like a musical version of Frankenstein with a lot less clothing, and a lot more underwear. I can't think of any other better way to describe it. It's worth a watch. Is it of its time now? I know it's still quite popular. Some people still really enjoy it. Where we did it. Richard O'Brien was the writer. He also went on to do a number of other. He did a number of other plays because it was originally a play, and then he went on to do the Crystal Maze. I think it was, wasn't it? Crystal Maze on Channel 4. And as I say, it was quite a popular. The Rocky Horror Show was quite a popular a movie. I don't even think I've got it on. You'd think I'd have it on video. It's one of these things that kind of, if you've been collecting videos and movies like I have for a very long time, you'd think I would have it because it was kind of it's quite iconic, and I don't think I do, surprisingly. Must get a copy of that, I think. I haven't seen it in years, to be honest. So, but the game follows kind of Janet and John. I think it's John. I know it's Janet. She's definitely Janet. He's probably not called that. And as I say, it's a musical, and you basically have to save the other party from what's called the Medusa Machine. The Medusa Machine is based on the Greek myth of, I think it's Greek myth of Medusa. Medusa was a hideous half snake snake-haired woman because her hair was like snakes, and if you stared at her directly, not via a mirror, she would turn you to stone. So this Medusa machine has turned, because you can be. This is quite well at the time. You could be him or her. So you could be him and rescue her, or her and rescue him, which is kind of cool. And you basically you would pick up parts of the machine. I think there's 12 parts. Maybe less. I don't know. We'll see when it comes up. But you've got to get these parts. Grab the parts from some weird and wonderful rooms in the house. Put them together and then rescue your partner by turning them back into flesh and bone again rather than solid stone. And then escape. But the house is filled with strange and weird and wonderful people like the butler, Riff Raff. I can't remember the name of his countermore. There was a female version. The maid was somebody else. There's Rocky himself, there's the doctor, there's a few other people, and they're there intent to stop you. There are plenty of traps in the house, and I quite liked it. It played quite well, actually, to be honest with you. And of course, you know, as a sort of, I don't know when it came out, this particular game. But either way, it was obviously slightly titillating to that when certain people in the house caught you, they would strip you naked, and then you'd walk around naked looking for your clothes before you continued on to the next bit. Apart from Riff Raff, because Riff Raff just zaps you with a laser and kills you. There's lots of silly wording and whatever else it is. And as the house gets warmer, somebody comes to life. Can't remember who that is. I think it's Meatloaf on a motorcycle. Who's now not Meatloaf anymore, is he? He's Vegetarian Loaf, because I just read that on the news this morning. He's gone vegan as Meatloaf. So now he's Veggie Loaf, I guess. I don't suppose he can be Meatloaf anymore if he's not eating meat, can he? I guess he can, you know. So so Meatloaf is now Veggie Loaf. This is very good. I'm enjoying this. This is we're having a monster load. I'm expecting exciting things from the 128K version. I don't. It's good that it's here. We've definitely got the right tape, as well. Gauntlet movie and Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones. There's, as I say, it's Temple of Doom. Definitely. There was a Locus Arts game that came out after it. Fate of Atlantis, that's it. Fate of Atlantis, which is an adventure. I think that even appeared on things like I want to say PlayStation 1, but it could have been PlayStation 2, and I think it also appeared on the Dreamcast and a couple of other things. And a bit like Full Throttle appeared on the Dreamcast, and it was Fate of Atlantis was really good. I enjoyed Fate of Atlantis. It was a good follow-on story. It wasn't quite like the fourth movie, which was what the Crystal. Oh, I've even forgotten its name. You had the Raiders of the Lost Ark. You had Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom. You had the Last Crusade, which is good. It's all right. You know, that was amused me about that one, Last Crusade, though, because you had Harrison Ford and you had Sean Connery playing his father, and the age difference between the two of them was about 9 years. So Sean Connery's playing his dad, and there's Indiana Jones, and there was only 9 years between the two. It's hilarious, really. It's like he's called him dad and all this kind of stuff, and they have to make Sean Connery look older with his beard and whatever else. It's just funny, really, isn't it? Thinking about it, I mean, to be fair though, I mean, what was more fitting? Harrison Ford dad would have been, Harrison Ford. So enter at your own risk. We will enter at our own risk. I haven't plugged in the joystick yet. I was so excited to get on with this, and I haven't done that. Getting coffee, you see, as well. Coffee and no joystick plugged in. So I'm going to put my little swapper in so I can use any joystick I want. And I'm going to grab the one that's first joystick that's handy. I think it's the Cruiser today. I have a Competition Pro last week, but we've got Cruiser today. Hang on, grab that. It's on the shelf above me. Oh, that's what it was. Just piled up nice and neatly in a nice chaotic pile because Dave loves it. Dave Birds loves that. That was one of his comments last week, is that he wants to come around my house and tidy my games. No, it's perfect chaos. It's beautiful. It's all part of the package. I'm going to enter at my own risk. I'm pushing a button. Please don't have hung. Oh, we get the song? You step to the right. You put your hands on your hips. I'm doing it. I hope you are. Bring your knees in tight. And do the pelvic thrust. That really drives you insane. Let's do the time warp again. That was the big thing. That was the time warp, the song.
I think it sounds different actually. Yeah, let's do it. Right, so here's our main two protagonists. I forgot it was CRL that did this actually. I always felt I don't know why I didn't feel it wasn't Brad. I thought he was called John. Brad and Janet. Of course it's Brad. It's a good American name that. So I think I'm gonna be Janet. No, let's redefine the keys. Can we do that? How do we do that? Redefine. Right, yep. Enter. And let's do fire. Oh. I think I've done something wrong there. Oh, have I got the keys wrong here? I think we've got the music. See, there's the bits of machine flashing on the screen there. Let's see if we can do this. I've done something wrong here. I should have put the joystick on, I think. Would have been easier in this particular occasion. Because the redefining keys didn't work. So, let's just... Come on! Let's do the time warp again. Yeah, we're doing time warp. It's doing the music. It's gone crazy with the music. Oh, I've made a mistake. Oh, hang on. I moved there. There we go. Up, down. We're moving now. I think space picks up the thing. So there we are with Janet. Then we've got a part, and we have to take it to the Medusa machine, which is over here. And there's keys to open doors, and there's all kinds of weird and wonderful family members. I really like this. I played this on the Amstrad not that long ago, and I didn't do badly, actually. I got really close. I think it's 18 parts looking at this, but I didn't do badly at all. Now, when the temperature gets too warm, Eddie kind of appears. So there's poor old Brad. He's there. So I'm going to put that bit in there. We'll grab as many parts as we can quickly. There's one there. And we've got time limit that's there at the bottom of the screen that's running along. And that kind of, that's a big factor. Time kind of can really stop you doing it. And when you lose your clothes, your counterparts lose their clothes as well, which is ridiculous. Right, so we're running against the clock. I'm not entirely sure what the 93 represents. I don't think it's minutes because we haven't been running that long. So let's go this one. And we've got to watch out for riffraff, because he just turns up and he starts to zap you. Right, we've got another bit. Here we go. I think the clock stops as well when we put a part in. I think. Get the feeling it does. Right, okay. Temperature's getting warm because, as I say, I think it's the person who it's Meatloaf who plays the bikey goat guy. He damn missed it. Right, we'll go get other parts while that's doing that. So how many parts do we think we've got here? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 parts I think it is. So it's not 18, 15 I think. Yeah, because I think it's 5 down, 5 by 3. By the looks of this. So we've got some more parts here, look. Should we take this key? Yeah, that'll allow us to open doors later on. We'll get this one. Let's do the time warp again. At least we're getting the music full throughout it. You didn't get the music throughout with the original 48K or the 48K version. So we've got all the music blasting away. We haven't upset anybody yet. I'm quite surprised by that. There he is. He's on his motorcycle. There goes Meatloaf. There we got another part in there. Oh, he's got me. I didn't like my teddy. At least he didn't kill me. Because you can die quite easily in this game, unfortunately. That's the only other part as well about it. It's kind of a bit harsh when it comes to doing it. Now, there's a way to turn the freezer back on again to stop him driving around all over the place, because he's really annoying. This is the room of nightmares up here. It's like this. It's bizarre. There's another key in here, so we'll grab that. At least there's no parts in it. It makes you walk up a bit wonky when you get zapped by these sort of drug-related references. So we'll go in here. Oh, out we come. So we'll open that door. There's one down the bottom here, so we'll get this one opened with this key. There's a part up there. We'll get that in a minute. I really like this game. Oh, there she is. Eddie! What's her name? Can't remember her name. There was the other girl. She's there walking backwards. Can't remember her name. What's her name? You know, don't you? Put it in the comments below. If you're a Rocky Horror fan, put it in the comments below. I don't know her name though. Some of them are just annoying. They're just getting in your way and slow you down more than anything else. As I say, Riff Raff is the big problem. He's the one who comes and zaps you with a laser, and once you've been hit by that, it's all over. We did play this well. I almost, on the Amstrad version, I almost finished it. I was quite surprised by the fact that I almost did. I was so close when I played it on the Amstrad. I don't think I've got. As I say, I think I have. Oh, I don't know what version I've got for the Spectrum. I don't even think I've got the alternative version, because there's an alternative re-release, you see, as well, that came out. No, I don't remember it being in my collection. I always quite liked it though, as I say. It's just one of those. It's just a simple enough game. It works really well. The place is well laid out. I've got a key anyway, so I don't need any more. As you can see, I've released her now. Do you see how she's wandering around? Because I've opened that door. She's been released into the wild to cause havoc, which is not good, because they're really annoying when they start, sort of wandering around. But hey, there she is. And I think she just stalls you. I think though, if you bang into them enough or knock into them enough, they will nick your clothing. I think. Can't remember what the catalyst for clothing removal is. We need to get upstairs because there's some odd places upstairs as well. There's a lift over this way. We'll go take the lift. Right, we'll get that part in there. We're doing well actually. Got quite a lot of parts. We'll turn the freezer back on as well and refreeze. Come on, quick. Oh, we'll wait for it. We'll be good and we'll wait for it. Time's running out. It's above 10 degrees. It must be, must be at least 15 degrees in the house. It's still a bit nippy really, isn't it, that? Freezer temperature. Here we go. Take the lift. Right. Now there's a knack to getting past this. You see this little things here? You have to climb up here. And you got to do that quick. And then quick across before it comes back on again. And then there's a creature. Oh, who's this? Oh, that's the creation, I think. It isn't Meatloaf who's in the thing. It's him. He's the creation. So there's not a lot of rooms to the whole thing. I'm just going to try and show you the other thing. There's a button that says "Do not press." Can't remember what that does. I think it kills you. Ah, dead. Oh, what an idiot. Oh, I can't believe I did that. You were killed by the sparks. Damn. Enter at my own risk. I am going to enter at my own risk. Go for it. No, I don't want. Oh, we got to do the song. Oh, I was enjoying that. I want to show you more upstairs. So we're gonna go upstairs. And I'll show you upstairs. I'm definitely going to play this again and finish this on the Spectrum. I really love this game. It's just so simple, and it's just a case of collecting, taking it back, taking it back. And it's got some crazy characters. And if you've seen the movie, it kind of makes sort of half sense. So we haven't got our clothes removed either yet. So I'm going to start, and I think we're going to be. Let's be. I want to be Brad this time. B for Big Brad. I'm just going to do keyboard, I think. And we'll just go for it. There we go. Big Brad. So I'm going to go upstairs first off, because that's what I want to do. I want to show you upstairs, because we started on the process of going upstairs and we never finished it off. Now it randomizes the parts. Well, let me get past. I will now. Picked up that key on the way past. It randomizes the parts. Riff Raff's usually in one of these rooms, by the way. I'll show you the room that I'm thinking. Oh, it's really good this time around. Look, there he is. What's he called? Mr. Frankenfurter. Now, if I touch Mr. Frankenfurter, he'll whip my clothes off. That's not a candlestick you're holding. Oh no, he hasn't taken my clothes. I'm surprised. He normally does. Yeah, you gotta be careful of them because they steal the clothes, and then you have to find your clothes before you can pick up any more parts, because you can't carry parts, obviously, while you're nude. Oh, that seems to be the way to do it. So let's go put this over here while we're at it. Oh, there's some escaped already. That's quite a surprise. Right, okay. Pop that one in there. Dr. Frankenfurter, that was his name. Dr. Frankenfurter. Oh, I got in just quickly enough. Right, I want to go across here and I want to show you the freezer. It's over here. And you can't do the freezer if he takes your clothes off, so let's just hope it doesn't get me and take my clothes off. That's not a candlestick you're holding. Get off. Don't you touch my candlestick. Right, you stay over there. No, I'm going to get sparked if I don't do that. Let's go that way. Let's go. Yeah, got across this time round. So the creation drops in now from the top of the screen. There he is. Hello, creation. I think you can zap him actually with the buttons. Or maybe wrong. I thought you could. Medusa machine. See the parts of the letter there. Medusa. Right. Oh. So we got past it. I can't remember what Do Not Touch does. This is the defrost here, or defreeze. This is the freezer itself. And there's an order to pushing these buttons in, I think, if I remember rightly. There you go. You refreeze him, you see. And he goes back in here, so it's not in your way and causing grief and aggravation. Sometimes there's parts in there. I like this Do Not Touch button. Should we try that? Do not use the... You're not on a candlestick you're holding. He hasn't taken my clothes off yet, though. Do not press again. Well, that's a definite yes. Oh, and it sends you to the drug room. That's kind of cool. I forgot about that. 128k. This person who Andre's got these tapes from, they are absolutely, they oversee 128k and were desperate to make sure that they had all 128k games that they could get. That's really good. I enjoyed that. Now let's see if we can get him stripped naked just as a final thing. There you go. I'm on the nod. Now I have to find my clothes. My rude bits have been. It must be girls who take the boys' clothes and the boys that take the girls'. And she should be nude too. Oh, she's not. I thought she should be. Oh, I'm wrong. I thought she was nude as well. So we'll go in the lift and we'll see if we can find my clothes. It's good, isn't it? Okay. I wonder how many times I finished it as Brad or whether I finished it as... there's my clothes on the floor there, look. Little pile there. And you grab your clothes and then you can get on with the important task of getting other things. Let's try some of these other rooms next door. Because I'd say Riff Raff's in one of these. He always is. He's horrible. There's the key. Should we open this one and see if we can let Riff Raff out? That one? You're not going to let me in? No, I obviously haven't opened enough rooms yet to let us have Riff Raff out. So there must be a room down here I must empty and open before I can let Riff Raff free. Just to jump to the left. She hasn't taken my clothes. You're lucky if they don't. Sometimes all the parts are right close to the actual exit to the game, which is kind of cool. Makes it really easy to finish the whole thing. Or to right close to the machine. And all you have to do is grab that, and then once you've got that, you'll both run out the front door, which is over here. So we're going to pass in a second, so you just run out the front door and you're all done. So there's the front door, and you just run out there. Right, I think... Get off. Get off. Right, let's open this door. Oh, I can't open the doors. It's weird. I can't remember how you open those doors, to be honest with you, but I can't open those doors. I must have got all the doors open by now, though. Huh. There's a button in there. I'm touching those and trying to make them open it. I could have sworn it just opened. No, it's not making any different noises for it. I'm really running short of time on this as well. Oh, that's cool. I haven't played. I don't think I've played the 128K version before because I used to quite like the music, you see, because it would be running while the game was running. So, but anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Even though we didn't get to see Riff Raff because he's just insane. He comes out with a big laser gun and starts zapping you. Anyway, and that was played by Richard O'Brien in the actual I'm just wondering if she could take a close away here in the actual movie. No, she's just chasing us, just getting away with that one. It's just being annoying. Go away. Right, okay, I'm going to reset the spectrum and we're going to try the next game, which should be Gauntlet. Now, I'm going to go with 128k because I think this person's a 128k person. Well, that was quick. That was close to the actual thing. Gauntlet. Gauntlet's a classic arcade game. It really is. It's one of those you can't really, you can't knock Gauntlet. It worked really well on lots and lots of platforms. It's the Spectrum, the Amstrad, the Commodore, the Master System, the Mega Drive, the SNES, the Amiga, the Atari ST. It just went everywhere. Everybody played Gauntlet, and then they remade it a few years ago for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And they forgot the entire idea of it, which is just exploration down to the lowest level to win it. Massive numbers of enemies where you throw things at them and sort of kill their spawners that the enemies spawn from. And just that was it. That's all there is to it. It's not... Gauntlet's all about, 2 to 4 players, really. One player you can play, but 2 to 4 players having fun and just doing that. If they'd just done straightforward Gauntlet and just advanced the graphics a little bit, they probably would have been alright. But they tried to make this pseudo 3D environment with sort of weird and wonderful traps and other and extras and this, that, and the other. Just the thing about Gauntlet is it's not tough, but it's tough. That's how I want to describe. It's the volume of enemies that make Gauntlet tough. If you're quick and you can kill them fast, it's not necessarily a problem. If you've got plenty of life, you can kill them quickly, it's not a problem. It didn't feel like that in the new Gauntlet. I do have the new Gauntlet, I think, on the PlayStation 4, but I can't say that I've played it much. I think I played a few levels of it and got really, really bored. It just didn't hold the same sort of experience that we used to have with it. I'm surprised there's no loading screen for this, though. Oh, stop tape. I have stopped the tape and pressed space. So this is our loading screen a bit, basically. Here we go. Space to continue. 1985 Atari games. P to pause in rooms, space to continue, use the cursor keys to point. Right, so one player. One player. Choose your player. I can choose who I want to be. Who do I want to be? I want to be... I always like to be Thor. So boring being Thor, though, because it's just about pure sort of mashing your way through. Because there's different people. Obviously, he's the elf with the ranged combat. Merlin also ranged combat, and the Valkyrie and the warrior. I just like I do like him. It's gonna have to be him, I'm afraid. Right, Sinclair, it's on. Or should we go with keyboard? No, it's set for Sinclair, which we should be all right with. So we'll do that. Press space. Cursor keys. Move the cursor keys. Doesn't matter, press play on the tape. And there we go. Right, so we're going to load it. So we've got Sinclair joystick in, thankfully. So we should be alright with that. And caps is for magic. We need that just in case. It's kind of like throwing a huge sort of jar of magic in the air and blowing things up. So there we go. Now I think this is all in one loader after you've done all this. I think that's it basically. I think once you've done that, that's your whole load. I think that with the 128K that probably is the case as well actually. I love these when they're so regimented and people are so good about, you know, what they put on them. I was looking through the tapes earlier that I've got, because I've got quite a lot of not backups, but you know what's on the tape. And by the way, we're going to be into epics shortly because I've run out of little C15s, so I need some C15s. That's what I need. With just sort of small snippets, so I can do shorter ones when I need them. But I was looking through his tapes, and I quite literally, one of them looked like somebody had been nibbling on the edge of the tape, and I thought, how would they manage that? The rest of the tape was fine. I wound it forward and back a little bit, and I went, look, how have you managed that? Now that I've seen one that's been nibbled on, I feel that is the one that I should be trying because it has been nibbled on. I've also picked up one that I've put to one side, and it just says Retrogames, and that's it. C90 Retrogames. I mean, that's just perfect, really, for me. I love those kind of things where you can just, you know, as well, you know, when it's just total mystery, and we'll see whether or not you get anything good. You do find though, you certainly get a number of you know, sort of other, you know, sort of repeating games. You often get Way of the Exploding Fist for one, Manic Miner, and not normally Jet Set Willy, because Jet Set Willy had that huge code sheet that went with it, and people didn't want to draw out all that, you know, coloured lines and all that kind of stuff, so they didn't do that. But you usually get a couple of sort of regulars, if that makes sense, that appear. Some of the Horaces appear as well. They do. I haven't as many as I would have thought actually over the course of these tapes that we've done, but we've had a few. Yeah. But this particular one, this set that Andre sent me, this is one of those. This is one of these people who was very meticulous about what they were doing, because they've hand typed each individual cassette tape, and they've typed what they've got on it, each individual one. I can imagine this person adding them as they went. I guess they were. I don't know why this tape 3 is emptier than the rest. I'm just wondering if there's anything on side 2 once we get to the end of this Gauntlet movie and Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. That wasn't actually bad. That wasn't half bad if I remember on the Spectrum. It was quite a good one actually. Good games, good times. Those are the ones. Good games and good times. Movie. That's also one that one came up recently actually. Movie. It's an isometric. I'm not very good with isometrics, but it's a very beautiful isometric. I think it's the word. It looks good, and it plays well. So let's press the start button. Here we go. Rewind to start. Oh, let's hope that they've put this on the same side. On here. Start tape. If it just doesn't load, it's on the wrong side. Oh no, they've put it straight on here. Wow, this is going to be interesting finding the next bit. How many levels were they on here? There was a little bit of speech there, so there's our first bit of gold. And here's our little man. And we're going down here. See, there's the generator there, and there's the key. So you can go exit 1 here, or you can go further exits. So let's see if we can get it further down. I'm wondering very much how much of this is on this tape, because I do remember this is a loader. There's some food, so we'll grab that health, we'll grab another key, and then we'll go in this bit, and you can try and shoot our way through as we go through. And there's the health. And that exits to level 8. And now probably go press the start key to play on the tape. I wouldn't have thought the levels were that large that they would require separate loading. And it's interesting that's just loaded straight away there. So there must be more than one level in each load. Maybe 8 in each load or something similar. Don't know. That's interesting, because that's skipping to 8. We've done that. I wonder if we get to 9 on this one, whether or not it needs to load again. I would have hoped not. Right, so I'm in here. Oh, got to shoot my way through the walls. I didn't know that. Extra power up. Oh, they're nasty. Those aren't nice. They can kill you quite handsomely. Oh, I'm trapped. No! I'm trying to shoot it. It will die eventually, but they're not nice. Health. Exit. Right, so we found an exit here. See if we go straight onto the next exit or whether we have to load again. Ah, you go. So there's a number of levels loaded in each section, so it's not just the 1 or 2. So we've got a power up for our guy. And the idea, I think, is just to get to the lowest level, I guess defeat whatever's there, and then you're the winner. But of course, it was based on it's the arcade days. The arcade days are all about high score, so it was the highest score you could possibly get was the measure of skill. Completing the game is obviously cool, but actually be able to get the highest score and break the high score table, that was your measure back in those days. I love the way you can shoot through the gaps. That's by design. That's intentional. That. Some keys there. I've got loads of keys. Health's really low. That's it, I'm all dead. Enter my name. All about the high score, as I say. There we go. Excellent. I am a winner. Enter. Fire. Caps. I think I'm maybe in the high score table for the wizard. Wizard? Warrior even. Oh no. I'm not even in the top 10. Why didn't it make me enter a score then? If I didn't even make the top 10. That's really harsh, wasn't it? Right, let's carry on, see if we can skip to the next one, which should be movie. Now, I don't know where this will be, because I don't think it'll be straight away. It must be the 128k version. These will just be the levels, I think. Yeah, levels. Right, okay. Fast forward on. Must have been a bit annoying, this part of it, that you had to fast forward on until you got to the actual game this time around, because he hasn't got any tape things, tape sort of marks on it. So he was obviously using the +2, because their +2s don't have the tape counter on it. So there's no counter numbers on there. So the counter numbers were used for it would turn round as it went. I don't think there was any standard for it, which is also very annoying as well. So if your mate had like a Sony tape player originally and you put 500 on it, your mate would fast forward in his Panasonics to 500, and that would be actually 400 in a Panasonic, because the way the tape counter revolved. Or I might be wrong, but I didn't think there was any standard. It was always a bit annoying. It's kind of close, but it wasn't perfect. Did I have a Sony one? I think it was Philips, my original tape. Let's hope this is the movie. No, that's another level. Lots of levels. I think there's 100 in total, wasn't there? Was it 120? Something like that. Amazing number of levels for Gauntlet, especially for the Spectrum. Okay. Movie? Maybe? Nope. I wonder if this person was so regimented with their music tapes as well. Do you imagine that? You know, I bet they typed all of those out as well. Nice choice, by the way, Andre. We've actually had some loaders here, and we've made it. We made it with some loaders. We've had some problems in the past with some loading tapes, but we've been good. We've had some Commodore 64 got mixed in there. Nope. Loads of levels. Okay. Nope, more levels. Come on. How many levels? Massive tape! I did hope you got your cup of coffee, because we've been fast forwarding forever. Levels. Come on. How many levels are on Gauntlet? Come on, put in the comments below. I'm sure I've my feeling in my head was 120, but was that Gauntlet 2? Because there was also extra. Well, there we go. There was also an extra, wasn't there? There was an extra add-on you could get. Was it Deeper Dungeons or Deeper Gauntlet or something similar you could get? I'm sure there was, which had another set of levels on it, which you kind of could load. Now, was this Ocean, this game? I know that it did well in the chart movie. It's kind of a... Oh, that's not a good start. I see jinxed that. Right, I'm gonna reset it and I'm gonna do load it dip. It might not be 128k this one. We'll give it a try. We'll give it a try on the old load it dip. Oh. Yeah, so this is sort of set in the 20s, which is really apt. Because we've just entered the 20s again, haven't we? Or was it 30s maybe? Sort of that kind of speakeasy kind of time, 20s, 30s. Could be 20s, couldn't it? But that's the sort of time, and it's really apt because we've just entered 2020, and this is my first video from first what's on the tape from 2020. So it's really kind of apt that we're having a sort of speakeasy sort of game or something similar. And the problem with it is I can't remember how to play it, and it's not one I actually have in my collection. Funnily enough, it's not a game that I've ever. It's not that I didn't want it. I don't know. I don't feel I'd have the time to work it out entirely, because even with this, the low level of tech. This is the amazing part of 8-bit computing. Even with the small amount of memory that was available to it, and you've got to remember we started way back when we had like 1K, and there was the Acorn Atom and the Z80 with 1K memory, and it was all everything that affected the memory. It was just one of those things. We'll see if this loads. I'm not sure. Some of the colours look a bit off there, but we'll see. Well, hopefully it will. Anyway, but yeah, so amazing thing is that you can jam so much. I think it's still amazing to this day how much you can jam into this tiny little computer's memory. I know we've got 128k there, but we had the original 48k, and you had the 64k of the Amstrad and the Commodore, and then of course both of those went to 128k. But the point is that we were jabbing so much into the memory of it, and you got such complex games, and this being one of them. It was sort of a full-on isometric adventure game with sort of interactions between bits and pieces. Really quite clever for what it was and the time that it was made. It was one of those kind of genuinely special things about these computers. There was so much possibility attached to them. Nowadays we have so much possibility, but then we keep churning out Call of Duty. Not that there's anything wrong with Call of Duty. It's just the same game since 1985 or whatever it was, or 1995. Sorry, whenever the first one came out. I remember the first Call of Duty, and I was mightily impressed by it. And slowly got less and less impressed as time's gone on, because they're not doing anything different, new or exciting. I mean, there is a world of possibilities with modern day computers, in the sense that there's so much memory. You can do so many things. You can set and create so many different worlds, and yet we still churn out sequel after sequel, which is great because people like sequels. But can we not do something different? Can we not do a few more beautiful single player games and things like that? Don't know. Anyway, I got a few things for the Switch recently as well, because I like the Switch, because I think Switch is going to be the last of the, not necessarily the last of physical media, but certainly be the media that people will continue to collect, because it's a very collectible format. It's still a cartridge, and I just like it for that reason. I got a couple of games the other day, and I think that the Switch is one of those ones where they're kind of working its innovation again, even though Nintendo and its approach to gaming is kind of odd. It's always kind of a generation behind. But one thing you can guarantee with being a generation behind is that you know that the hardware is going to be spot on. You're not going to have the problems of being bleeding edge. So they're quite clever, really, Nintendo, in that sense. I mean, the Game Boy itself was way behind, even though the Game Gear was way ahead. But the Game Gear 8 batteries and the Game Boy didn't, and all these kind of things. There was all kinds of exciting bits and pieces. So, change. Can we get Sinclair? Yeah, we can. Enter. We'll leave it on rotate. QI on. Imagine. Right, okay, here we go. Oh, coffee. Good. Right, okay, let's go for it. So, enter key. Our little man there. 20s or 30s? I think it's 20s. So, here's a little man. Look at the level of detail in this. It's absolutely stunning. If ever a game needed a remake, it was this one. So, I'm going to put it in the foot mode. There we go. We're in movement mode. Look at that. I mean, it's stunning. Can I push the chair around with my body? Yeah, I can. And I don't know what I'm doing really with it. I think there's like a mystery we've got to solve by talking to people. There's a radio over here. I don't know what else we can do here. If I push the fire button, yeah, we've got gun, pick up, go, talk. Let's punch it. Punch the radio player. What's that do? Wiggly. What's H do? Help. Oh, no, change the attributes. Oh, abort. Abandon. H is hold. And A is abandon. What an idiot I am. Let's press enter, we'll go again. Score 0-0. Yeah, we're playing again. We'll see what happens here this time round. I've not had a chance to do anything with it. I mean, it's stunning, isn't it? It really is. Graphically, it's great. No idea what I'm doing, but graphically, it's great. Oh. Right. Let's go over here. So I was just pensively looking out the window. Let's go at the start. There we go. Get out of the way. There's a record player, TV. Let's go through these. Let's push them through to the next room. I'm only being silly here, because to be fair, I don't think they will go out of the room, will they? No, of course they won't. Yeah, get out of the way. There's a man. Can we talk to him? Try the second door. Oh, okay. I will try the second door, thank you. There's a second door over here, maybe. We've got our rain mac on, because that's what all detectives wear, don't they? There we go. Hello! Oh, he's shooting at me. He's punching at me. I want to shoot him. I can't punch. I can punch though. This is ridiculous. Right. Hello. Give me a kiss. No, don't want a kiss. Hi. I'm demon. What's your name?
He's not very nice, is he? He keeps trying to hit me.
Let's see if I can... Hang on, I don't want to do that again. I want to walk. Punch mode. I'm going to punch you. I'm punching him. What's he doing? Come back here and get punched. He's not very nice. He keeps punching me and I've not done anything. I mean, like his waiting room or something like that. You just stay over there with your gun. Oh, he got me. I'm dead. It's a bit harsh, that, wasn't it? It's a bit harsh. Right, let's carry on. What else have we got here? Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Let's do Indy. We'll go with 128k just in case it's that one. We'll give that a try. Straight onto it. Indy. I don't know what the advantage of the Indiana Jones was. I'm sure that... I may be wrong. I'm sure Target Renegade, when you have it on the 128k, loads all the levels at once. And you get that whole experience of all of the levels without having to do the hassle of all the other stuff. But I may be very wrong about that. Target Renegade's excellent. But I still think Renegade has the edge. We've discussed this many a time, so it's definitely got the edge. I don't think I've ever played the third one. I think that's a good thing, though. I think everybody says the third one's like rubbish. Absolutely nothing to do with Renegade. It's one of those games, isn't it? If I'd been an arcade developer at the time, because Renegade was kind of mid-generational kind of thing, arcade-wise, before, you know, it all sort of started to fall apart with the rise of more and more powerful computers and consoles. But I do think that if they'd seen, if I'd been the developer of it, because is it Taito who made? Yeah, I think it is who made Renegade. If I'd been them and I'd seen Target Renegade, which was created independently, I'd have been tempted to say, I'm going to take that to the arcade, because I think that would have been kind of cool in the arcade. I think it appeared on some other consoles as well, though, but I can't remember the ones off the top of my head. I want to say the Master System, but I'm not sure. Not 100% sure that it did arrive on the Master System. But the point is that it was a very, very good two-player beat-em-up based on the concept of their original game that just really played brilliantly well. Worth the effort. Worth the time. Worth Indiana Jones's face. And doesn't really remind me of Harrison Ford, that. His nose looks a bit squished to me. His face looks a bit flat. It's not somebody's digitised it, but just seems a bit flat for him. US Gold. Now, there's a US Gold Facebook group, actually, and they just post lots of pictures of the original games and the advertising. It's kind of cool. I know that they disappeared, though. They don't exist anymore, US Gold. US Gold were clever at the time. If you've ever watched the movie Bedrooms to Billionaires, I think it is called, they discuss US Gold. And US Gold kind of was lucky in the way that it licensed a lot of things. It licensed a lot of movies and TV things, and everybody had to go to US Gold to create games and movies based on these licenses, and they owned them for a very long time. So if you wanted to build a pinball machine in America, they kind of owned that license as well. They were very smart. They were very smart indeed. It's a very clever way of making an awful lot of money. You know, it's like when George Lucas said that he didn't want a share of the Star Wars movies, but he would like all of the money from the franchising and the toys and games and all that kind of stuff. And the movie directors went, yeah, that'll never happen, kind of thing. And then, of course, he must have made billions in the end of the day from the actual sales of action figures and whatever else it is. I mean, everybody had Star Wars figures back in the late 70s to the sort of midway through, right up to when he restarted again in the 90s. You know, at the end of the 90s, 2000s. There was always Star Wars. Star Wars was everywhere. Star Wars is everywhere now, to be honest with you. Have you seen Rise of the Skywalker? Too many loose ends for my liking. No spoilers, too many loose ends. as a Star Wars fan from, and lucky enough to experience my first ever movie ever as a child, ever. Has that crashed? I'm going to leave it because it's loading. Yeah, my first ever movie as a child, first ever movie I ever saw, Empire Strikes Back. I mean, can you think of a better movie as a child to start on? I can't. I remember watching at the pictures and being absolutely mesmerised by the whole thing from beginning to end, and loving every single second of the Empire Strikes Back. It was just a fantastic movie. I mean, Darth Vader was just amazing. It was just so good. Anyway, press the key. Begin your journey for the Sarek. I can't remember what they are. Stone. J for joystick. Sinclair 2. Press fire to start. Okay, so we're Indy. We've got to save kids first. There's some kids to be saved. There's the kids. Let's whip them out here and whip him. You can tell it's a kids movie because the kids are not getting killed by these guys, because they were using them, weren't they, to do some kind of sacred sacrifice. That's what it was. The thuggy guards. That's it. Thuggies. Yeah. I did whip him. Get off. Could have convinced me there that I'd got him. Don't want to fall off that though, because that was a bit harsh when I fell off before. Yeah, I got him. I fell off! No! Down we go. That's... Oh, he's got me. Is it all over? No! No, no, no! There's multiple levels to this. I'm sure there's like there's a bit where you go in the you race down the what are they called? Oh, caves. It's all based in caves anyway, so that's handy. There's a kid right there. I am sure I've just whipped him. He keeps beating me up. I didn't think this was the first level actually, but this is obviously the rescue the children. First off, oh no, get off me! He really chases you, doesn't he? Look at him tracking me. I'm quite convinced I'm getting him here. Right, across the bridge. Let's see if there's more over this side. 6 kids held. He got me again. I'm rubbish at this. Right, so we have got. Okay, what I'm going to do, because if there is other things here, I don't know where it is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over this tape, because this is going to be. I'm not going to get to level 2 of this, by the way, so I'm not going to worry about the loading of the next level. I am going to rewind this on the other side of the tape, and we're going to see. This is, by the way, they've all loaded. Every single one on this tape has loaded. I'm going to try and whip him off the edge here. Ah, I got him. Killed him. Awesome. I'm going to rewind the other side tape because I just feel that this one's far too short just to end on this one here, and that I feel that the owner of this tape has missed out on some important things. God, it's so tough this. I forgot how tough this particular part was. I remember. You know something? What was worse is I actually remember this being easier. Let's do this. This is where I'm going to finish it, isn't it? I've enjoyed this one. It's been a nice one. It's been a nice what's on the tape. Good combination of things, and there's the sort of demon priest thing. Yeah, cool. That's a nice combination. Right, so I've rewound it. I'm really interested to see whether we actually get anything here, even if it's just some speech or something similar. We'll see if there's anything here. There's top marks to Andre for this one. Top marks indeed. Done really well. You done good, bruv. You done good. Let's see if there's anything on here. Could actually be empty. It's possible. I love the use of the tapes, though, especially that somebody's gone to this much effort with it to sort of, secure the amount of information on there. It's quiet thus far. Let's give it a quick fast forward and see if we can find some sounds. That's really... Oh, it's a shame. Gonna do a good fast forward here, see if we can catch something. No, this is a genuine. You get what you're getting on the tape. Oh, I like it. Right. Well, that's excellent. Just the 4, but very good 4 at that. Rocky Horror Show, 128k version, Gauntlet, Movie, and Indiana Jones. I mean that we had a good set there. I'm impressed by that. Brilliant, excellent, really good. Okay, let's skip to the cover tape now. This is the Your Sinclair, and we have on here a full game called Samurai. By Don Mark, but then says CRL beside it, just to completely confuse the situation, and it's not rewound, so we'll rewind that quickly. In fact, no, we'll just do Scramble Spirits, which is on the other side, because we're going to have to go through that anyway, so let's not rewind it. And Scramble Spirits first, should I say. So, the demo of Scramble Spirits. As I say, I played this on the Master System. It's a great game. I got a real bargain. I found somebody with a really terrible posting of it on eBay. You know, the one where you know the kind where you don't know what natural light is and you haven't got the flash on the phone, so you get this black, mucky sort of image lying on the floor, and then flipped over and lying on the floor, and we might have the manual. Okay. 48k demo only, that's fine, 'cause I think we did I do... I don't know if I did loader or I did 48k. Well, either way, we'll see what happens. Anyway, so it's lying in the dark on one of them, the proper sort of paisley style, sort of those whirling patterns on the floor, paisley style carpet. And I put a little speculative bid in it, and I think that the starting bid was sort of £4, so that was it. So the starting bid was £4. So I put a speculative bid of £4, and I thought, somebody else will come in and jump on top of this, because they'll see that and they'll be like me. They'll be like, yeah, it's just bad lighting. It's probably okay. Anyway, I won it for the £4. I was slightly delighted actually. And when it arrived, it was in actually great condition. It was much better than I thought it was going to be, and I thought that I think we did all right with that. This is a game of Scramble Spirits. I didn't even know it was on it. It's a good game actually. It's a good shoot 'em up certainly on the Master System. It's a really good shoot 'em up. It's one of those worth playing. I don't remember ever seeing it on the Spectrum. Is it last days of Spectrum? This is that what this is? Is this last? Sort of those dying dregs of the time. They should have done an upgraded Spectrum that wasn't the QL, shouldn't they? Just added another mode. We shouldn't have been, and if it was going to be the Sam Coupe, then it should have been called, I don't know, something else, not the Sam Coupe. ZX Spectrum Plus, the ZX Rainbow. Just thinking of colours here with Spectrum, Don't think ZX Rainbow would have cut it really, do you? What would it have been though? You'll have to give it a sensible name. I mean, but the other ones were named by years, weren't they? Because it was the ZX80, ZX81, and it was the ZX Spectrum, and I don't know why it was called Spectrum. I think it was because of the colour. Well, yeah, it was the colour, wasn't it? Because it had the rainbow. Oh, how could I forget that? That's why. So it was a spectrum of lights that it could create. What would the new Spectrum be called? I mean, I know that they're called there's obviously the ZX Spectrum next, but what would they call it? But what if it was officially made by Amstrad and, blessed by Sir Clive himself, with some magical holy water or something similar? It would never have been blessed by Clive, would it? Let's be honest. Clive was. I watched an interview with him. And who was it with? Oh, Anderson, I think it is. Anderson? Clive Anderson, that's the fella. He was quite popular back in the 90s. He used to Whose Line Is It Anyway? He used to present that. You'll see your brain will be springing to life. You're going, whose line is it anyway? You know, they had all kinds of comedians doing weird and wonderful sort of one-line ad hoc sketches. You know, ad-libbed when given information. You know, can add this word and that word to it or something similar. At the time, it was quite entertaining. I mean, obviously it was on Channel 4 because that's where it would be. But Clive Anderson interviewed Clive Sinclair, including having. You can look it up on YouTube actually. In fact, if I remember, I'll put a link to it below in the description below. You can have a look at the interview. It's about 15 to 20 minutes long, and it was after Clive had sold to Amstrad the bulk of his shares and whatever else it was. And Clive Anderson does his best to go, well, yeah, but you made the watch that was digital, you made the calculator, and then a whole load of Japanese people came along and Chinese people, and they took your design and did something else. And Clive Sinclair answers with, well, I'm an inventor, I'm not a retail producer. I don't want to retail produce. I want to invent newer and cleverer technologies that then get them eaten by somebody else. So for him, the challenge was to. Are we loaded? I think we might be loaded. Yeah, we are. The challenge for him. I don't know what it's doing though. Oh, there we go. The challenge for him was that to produce the technology in the first place, not to do what Clive Anderson was implying, which is make billions from continuing to produce it, which is an interesting idea. He sees himself more as an ideas man than necessarily the guy who wants to produce consumer things. That's Alan Sugar's job. Alan Sugar's job is to create things the consumers will buy en masse and they all get rich. Sir Clive wanted to create a computer that was nice, pretty, and whatever else is. Sir Clive wanted to create an electric car. In the case of the C5. I mean, he was inventing rather than necessarily getting rich in the process. Not that he didn't make a fair bit of money out of it, to be fair. Anyway, right, let's go for it. Oh, it's doing 2-player even though we don't need 2-player. Oh, I can't fire. I thought Sinclair was on. Maybe it's not. I'll just let them die. That's the best answer to that. Oh, did I move? We'll soon die, don't you worry. I will give it a try again in a minute. No sound. Monochrome seems to be the real. It's kind of sad actually that's the way it is. That monochrome is that's the number of credits on the side screen there. The monochrome is the kind of colours that we ended up with. It is a bit sad that. Yeah, it's well and truly getting obliterated here as we go along. I notice it isn't stopping though. The level's just scrolling on and on and on and on. We'll soon be up to the boss at this rate. The question is, will it start again when he dies? Yep, it's just going to go through the credits. We'll just wait for it to go through the credits. So, but yeah, I'll put that. I'll find that interview with Sir Clive Sinclair and Clive Anderson. I'll put that on there. It was just an interesting thought. But it's the same as the gentleman that created the idea for the spreadsheet. There's the cells and all the other stuff that was effectively equivalent to an accounting ledger. The guys who invented that and designed that originally, first time round, had their idea stolen by everybody because they didn't patent it. And imagine how rich those two computer engineers would be now if they painted it. And I believe that it wasn't can't remember what the name they called it, but I'm sure it was something like, you know how Lotus had Lotus 123, which is their version of Excel as it is now, which has become the standard. I'm sure the original spreadsheet was called 123, and it was stolen. It was it's stolen. They just didn't patent it. They wanted to see whether it was possible to do. And they produced a spreadsheet with those initial sort of things that could calculate your fields and all the other stuff, and it was possible. So that was them done. And Sir Clive, I think, is very much the same. He proved that you could make an affordable computer for everybody, and it was extremely popular in the United Kingdom, and he did it well. He did it with style. He proved that he could make a calculator. It was all about. I mean, to be fair, I don't think without his input, I don't think certain things would have occurred nowadays. And I certainly don't think that the mobility scooters would be where mobility scooters are today if it wasn't for the Sinclair C5. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. That he was just a bit ahead of his time with that one. Same with his television with its 1-inch screen. It was a bit ahead of his time. I mean, look at every mobile phone nowadays. They're all smartphones with a computer built in. Again, ahead of his time. Very much so. Right, I am going to try and see if I can change this over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 for the first one, 7 for the second one, press enter, and I should then be able to fly. I can't. Oh, I can't move any of this. Oh, I can shoot. Space is shoot. I'm trying to find the keys. Wow, what's going on here? It's like not working properly with the Sinclair joystick. So I can shoot. It's not bad. It's on the Spectrum. I can't really give you a proper demonstration there without those keys not working. That's really quite difficult to do, to be honest with you. Right, we'll swap the tape over and we'll have a look at this Samurai, and then we'll finish off on that, and we'll do that. I didn't even know it was on the Spectrum. It's a bit bland without the sound, though. Certainly is a bit bland. I mean, there's some real effort there, and they've again, I've talked about this before in the past. So they've dropped about a third of the screen off to keep the speed up. So you've got this like on the side here with this little man and his guns and whatever else. That's not doing anything. The other side of the screen is doing everything. So you drop a third of the screen off, and it allows you to keep the overall speed of the whole thing up. So it's really good. Right, okay, we'll try the loader, and we'll go for this Samurai. I have no idea what this is. I mean, there's plenty of games with Samurai in it, or certainly with the name Samurai. It's one of those things, isn't it? They were very much into those kind of sort of naming Japanese things, you know, ninja and all that kind of stuff. Well, that's a good start. No sound at all. Go for it. Try that again. I can hear it. The screen's not picking it up. There we go. Yes, Samurai. Beautiful. Yeah, so it's one of those things. It's a sort of a friend of mine. He had he married a Japanese girl, and he dressed like a sort of samurai dress, if that makes sense, for the wedding. It's a bit weird, that one, if you ask me, though, because if you're English, you don't understand dressing. I suppose it's ceremonial, isn't it, at the end of the day? It's nothing more exciting than that, but a bit weird. Different cultural heritage and all that. Look, we've got little lines at the bottom of the screen. It's like toothpaste. What's the name of that toothpaste? Aquafresh? Well, that's got 3 colours in it, 4 colours, doesn't it? Really like rock at the end of the day. Something about this name of this game is just bugging me. Dommark and Samurai. CRL. Oh, I love the load. I love the CRL in the middle of the loading bit there. That's cool. Astro Productions. Samurai. Nice loading screen. Very pretty indeed. I've got it on 1:8K, so we'll see how that goes. To see if that pans out okay, and see if that's going to be the business for us. We're just loading. It's been an interesting 2 weeks. I mean, a lot of people are closed from the sort of the if you're in the building trade, you'd be closed probably for the solid 2 weeks. If certain people were in and out, I was certainly in and out during the Christmas break. I ended up working Boxing Day and New Year's Day. It was just the nature of the beast. But it's just a weird time because you kind of lose track of time, and you sleep in late when you can, and you miss the postman at the door, and all kinds of things. It's all these things happen because you're not in your normal routine, it's a very unnormal sort of set of holidays, because you've got New Year where everybody goes and a lot of people go out and get a drink and do the New Year coming in, very exciting, and then you got Christmas as well. Everybody gets presents most of the time, and it's one of those weird times of the year. As I say, it's a strange time for me. It just continued to be work through most of it. I did get a few days off, got a few days with the kids and things like that, which was very nice. And we got some time out, to go for a few places and do a little bit of charity shop hunting, which is always what we like to do. Dig out, see if we can find some good stuff. And we did. To be fair, we did get a few goodies. We did all right, actually. We did find a few Xbox and videos and a few other things. We did all right. We did all right with the whole generation of sort of bits and pieces. I think we went a bit too early though, because we kind of went between Christmas and New Year. And what we should have done is waited for another week or so to sort of really secure the bits and pieces. I think that's what needs to be done. So we get, it's. But we got a bit of a break. But as I say, it's a bit of a weird time of the year for a lot of people. It's a lot goes on, and we all kind of lose ourselves a bit in what's there. And obviously as well, it can also be quite a difficult time of the year for people as well. So a lot of people think about sort of the loss of the year and things like that. So yeah, difficult, good, strange, weird part of the year. I don't know where I stand on it. I don't mind a bit of Christmas and I don't mind a bit of that, but it just everything always happens. It all happens at once, doesn't it? It's all that 2 week period, and you can just do with it. Sort of, I don't know. I break between New Year and Christmas. Christmas maybe should be October or something, and then we get the New Year celebration. Have time off then. I don't know, maybe, because it's also quite a dark time of the year in the sense of the weather and the rain and whatever else it is. Certainly in the UK it is. So it's you kind of. It's not the funnest if you stay at home, to be honest with you, in that sense. So, but have we lost? We've lost the loader. Can't have done after all that. Yeah, we have. We've lost it. After all that, we have lost the loader. Right, I'm gonna see if I can find it on the PlayZX, because I really don't want us to worry about trying this again. We'll give it a search though. I will search for it now. Samurai CRL. I have found it. Right, I've got that. 1986 this is. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go with this one. I don't think it was 128k. Maybe that's probably why I upset it. Let's grab that wonderful cassette insert that we use. I'll pop that in. As I say, don't want to upset it. Don't want to cause any problems. So let's get this in here. CRL's version of it. Don Mark has also got the name on it. I don't know. Maybe one of them produced it. Maybe one of them created it. I don't know. It's a bit weird. Right, down we go. 1 to basic. Dit. Press the play on there. Okay. Press the play on here. Pop it over there. Oh. Didn't seem very happy there, actually, did it? It's happier now, but it wasn't happy a moment ago. Okay. So we're loading again. This should be the right version. This is the CRL version of it, rather than the one that was labelled Don Mark that came from with the your Sinclair tip. I don't remember getting this one. I'm looking at the date for it on it when it says it was produced. I don't know. Why does it say Denmark? It's really confusing me because on the lower right reserve beside it says Your Sinclair, CRL and Grand Slam. And this looks like a different version completely indeed. And maybe there's one called Samurai Denmark. That's a different loader altogether. Same people. Astro Productions, CRL. Still says Samurai. Maybe there was multiple versions of it. Maybe one was a re-release. I don't see a re-release on the PlayZX. I'll have a look once it's loaded. We'll see whether or not there's actually a different version there. I quite like the loading screen on that one as well. Actually, to be honest with you, a little bit more amateuristic in comparison to the previous one. The other one was very sort of stylized and sort of samurai chopping away. I wonder if this is a tactical sort of RTS or turn-based combat game. Now, I got one of them for the Switch. It's called Battle World Chronos. It's a turn-based sort of a game. Now, you think that these things would disappear, but they don't, because they really do play quite well. If you think about on the Switch, the Nintendo Advance, Game Boy Advance, there was a series called Advanced War. Now, that was a really good sort of turn-based combat game and really worked well. Civilization, turn-based, sort of. Not necessarily combat, but there is a good combat element to it. Turn-based game really, really works well. There's still quite a good level of input for those kind of turn-based. I do like them. I think they work quite well. I don't mind the Final Fantasy sort of approach to changing to it. Now I can't speak slightly out of turn with the not knowing about Final Fantasy entirely, but I do sort of half know the combat. Combat kind of occurs at once. You choose what you want to do in the next turn, and then it all calculates it based on stats and whatever else it is, and then it occurs at the same time, so you don't just jump forward, I don't think, and attack things. Certainly if you play something like the Darkest Dungeon, it's turn-based, one after the other, after the other, after the other, and they work really well, surprisingly so, even though you would think that would do it, but I quite like the pace of turn-based. The pace of turn-based is brilliant. It really is just a nice, smooth, sort of easy-to-play, sort of turn-based combat thing. I mean, one of my favourite games, which is incredibly difficult to get hold of, and I saw it recently, and I should have bought it. But the thing is, you look at it and you go, £50, really? But I should have bought it. It was the original boxed Chaos by what are they? War Games, aren't they? Is that right? I always get this wrong. Yeah, something like War Games anyway. But Chaos, I saw the original boxed one. It was for £50 and I should have bought it. It was the original Julian Gallop game. And Julian Gallop, he went on to create XCOM and a number of other things. And there's a new one that he's got out at the moment. I can't remember the name of the life of me, because he stopped doing the XCOM franchise. He wanted to move on to something else, which is basically the same difference, but where he wanted to take it, not where they were taking it to. So he's created another one, and it's all of them on Facebook feed. And I wouldn't mind so much, but it's all of them on Facebook feed. But he's done another version of sort of XCOM. And do you know what though? The whole XCOM saga is a really good saga. It works really well, and it's just lovely sort of turn-based stuff, and it's really good. And his creations or his games that went forward from Laser Squad to that's a surprise. Our tape error on this. Maybe my tape drive needs a quick clean. I'll give the heads a quick clean. That's maybe why it's getting a bit upset. Give the tape drive a quick clean. Hang on one second. Right, we'll bung this in here. Yeah, but his games are sort of critically acclaimed. I had the original Firebird version of Chaos, and the sort of blue box with the cover and all the sort of creatures on the front of it. And I bought it, and it was I don't think I bought it as a whim. Did I buy it as a whim? Maybe a whim. Anyway, I bought it, and it was brilliant. I played it all day. Anyway, I played the same thing, and then I played it with my mate, and he came around and played it, and we played together on turn-based, blah, blah, blah. And he just wouldn't go home until I lent it to him, and that was really bad, because I wanted to play it all night, but at least I'd loaded it at that point, so I had to loan it that night, because it just literally wouldn't go home. I'm not going home until I borrow that game, you know, and that was it. He just didn't want to, which is kind of difficult, but we'll just get this here. But at least I'd loaded it, and I got it back the next day, which was fine. But I think he loaded it on his Spectrum and just left it on all day, just so he could play it later. That's always pushing it a bit, isn't it, with a Spectrum, leaving it on all day, because you never know whether or not it's gonna actually work or not after all that. So, right, let's give this a blast. One more blast with this, and then we're going full on. Then we're going full on. We're going to go on full on, what's it called? That really narrows it down, doesn't it, me saying what's it called? There we go, push play a bit more. We're going to go full on Div MMC, we'll bung that in and we'll get that working. That didn't actually work. What are you doing, Tape Drive? Play that again. Being a bit awkward today. Yeah. Tape drive's being awkward for some reason. I'll have to give that a damn good clean. Right, what we'll do is we'll div MMC it, so we'll go do that in a second. So if you hang on a second, I'll be right back with you, and we'll stick the old div MMC in and we'll give that a go. So I'll see you in a sec. Right, so the div MMC's in, and I have loaded Samurai. It is what I thought it was. It is a turn-based strategy game, which makes stupid noise when it starts. So we're going to choose level 1. Choose incident 1, and choose your warriors. Now, so this is... I don't know if I can change the number of these. I'm trying to work out what the keys are. Sorry, I haven't got the keys for it. Yeah, so you're choosing your warriors, who you've got. So for the battlefield, if I can change, enter, up, down. I'm trying the cursor keys at the top of the screen. That's not working. O and P. M. Right, okay, so I've got coffers over the side of the screen, so I'm going to choose some of those. Those are my samurai. Got some polemen. I'll get a couple of those. Those are good for defence. We've got ninjas for throwing stars. We've got a few of those. We have horseback samurai. A couple of those. What have we got here? And I guess that's unhappy and that's ready to fight. So let's reset it. So I'll get a few more. Get another poleman. Quite cheap, the pole guys, actually. One of those. 2 left. I'm ready to fight. I have played this before, I think, on the Vega of all place. It's they're quite good games, these ones. So basically, we've got our actions here. So we're going to throw, attack. I think that's going to settle. So I'm going to move, and we'll see if we can move him along here. And we're going to do that. That's his move. And we're going to make you move. It's Q, A, O, P, and M, by the way. The controls. And that's him done. Let's select him. Let's move you into... Let's see if we can get into some battle here with them. That'll do. I think they randomly appear where they are. So we've got a pole man. I wonder if we can cross the river. That's me a bit made a mistake there. We're just moving along towards the combat zone. Towards the enemy. Kind of flanking them at the moment. We're going round them, aren't we? This is our little ninja. I've made him... I didn't mean to set him to do that, actually. I wanted to move. There we go. I think I got a bit... Right, he's done. He can go across the water. He should be able to move further than anybody else. Oh, look, there's a guy up there. Let's see now. Oh, look, there's a few around that temple there, samurai. He's gone on. I wonder if it's their turn yet. No. Oh, I can go across water. I thought the water would have been a block, but obviously it probably just takes turns off, to be honest with you, to cross water. Okay, so it looks like it's their turn now. So I think we're all heading towards this central section here. It makes sense because it's the high ground, because you can see it's sort of upwards. So if you're doing tactically, soldier-wise, you probably want the high ground. It's going to make some advantages. Yeah, so it's basically stats versus stats, ground versus ground. So the high ground can make a difference to the whole thing. I think we're in a position where we can attack shortly, which would be quite nice, actually. I'd like to see that. Just waiting for all his turns to be done. Not much you can do about it, you just have to wait for them to do their bit. I used to love this phase in Laser Squad, because things would just start moving, you know, and then you'd put it on opportunity fire, and that you would waste them. Which opportunity fire was basically you leave enough turns left over that you could take a shot when somebody passed in your vision. It was kind of a cool move. Working our way, they're working their way around. Yeah, so many of them. So many of them. They're kind of coming together, though. I can see them grouping up here to try and to avoid the fight. Realistically, they're grouping together, moving into little formations. Surprised he went across the water there. He probably could have gone across the other areas faster. There's that pole one. He's moving into position up there. That's fair enough. Where are you going to? I'm guessing we're taking the temple, though. The idea is to take the temple, guard it. Okay. I'm in combat here. Yep. Oh, he's attacking me. Doesn't stand much of a chance, I don't think. Is it my turn? I think it's my turn. Right. I think... Damn. I was hoping I was going to be able to move further than that. I don't really want to fight from the water. Where's the attack button, though? They're available there. Takes a lot of effort to get across the water. Can only move, can't attack. I think I can attack with one of these guys because they're right on top of it. Damn. Right, we'll go there. Aha, but he can attack. Attack. That's what I've chosen him to do. I think. Oh. Must be the end of the offensive round. Oh, he's dead. One down. I'm that's basically it. There's not much more to it, realistically. I mean, I could play on and probably will do, but I think you get the general gist. There required quite a lot created. I don't know whether it's all by that Astros group, but there was quite a lot of them created. These sort of turn-based things, and actually, I mean, to be fair, their birth came from that of a board game anyway. But no, they're pretty good, and then they're just a little long-winded. So I'm not going to sit through it with you. Anyway, I've been your host, Real Genetic Demon. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year. I hope you had a good one. And I'll catch you in the next video. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you soon. Bye bye now.